we are going to discuss something that is worrisome, especially for student permit. People who actually are longing to get permits to come over to Canada as students. In the news lately, it has been stated that about 700 students from India are facing deportation. It is not something that is good. And what is more worrisome is that these candidates have actually completed their schooling here in Canada. And they've got even work permit. But the whole thing came into the fore when they applied for permanent residence. So this takes us back to what I've always said. They are not washing you every day. Your every step, they do not wash it. But when you want to, if you choose to, apply as a permanent resident, then everything will be scrutinized. And woe betide you if you do not have correct paperwork. It was found out that these students used a recruitment agent from India, and the recruitment agent gave them fictitious, fake admission letters that they use to enroll in the institution in Canada. Can you imagine the trauma that these students are going through right now? Think of the number of years that they have lost. Some of them have spent 3-4 years in the institution. They've worked, they've left their family, they've traveled to land that they've not known before, and all of a sudden, they will be deported back home. That is not something that I want for anybody, not even for somebody I don't love. So that is why it is very, very imperative that if you are thinking of coming to Canada as a student, well, like people will say, buyer beware. Ensure that you do proper due diligence. For so many people are parading themselves, especially in social media, that I can help you, I can assist you, DM me, PN me, so that I can give you link. The links that they are giving you could just be what is happening or what had happened to these 700 students. You do not want to live 4 years of your life or 3 years of your life and then turn back to see that it was a waste of time. So if you are going to use a recruitment agency, ensure, please take note of that word, ensure that that agent, they are regulated by the Canadian government. It is there for you to see. You can get that in the Government of Canada website. You can actually see them, the registration, or their affiliations, where you can know if these persons are registered. As always, I have always declared that I am not a Canadian regulated consultant. I am only sharing my experience from what I went through and time taken to go through the Government of Canada website. Those are the things I've shared. And I have never asked anybody for money. Because it's the future of these persons that is at stake currently. If you do not want to use regulated consultants, you can actually do it yourself. And that is why I set up this channel, to try to push people, show them, guide them from the Government of Canada website. Not only the paperwork, we are on the website that you can see it, show you via screen sharing that this is actually the Government of Canada, what they are saying, that you as an individual can do it yourself. Not everyone can actually do it themselves, and there are some people, even though they can do it themselves, they need other people to guide them. Fine. But do your due diligence. Ensure that whatever persons you are using, do not just write or go with the flow. That I've seen somebody that will assist me. No. Anybody that is asking me to help you, the first thing you need to ask, what is your IRCC number? I think that will keep the person in check, that you know what you are talking about, because they know they have to live by the law. I, for one, coming over to Canada, I used two of the biggest immigration consultants, and I was rejected about 3 times for things that were very small that those people refused or failed to show me. Not a fault of theirs, because they are so big and they only assign you to maybe a staff in the office to take care of your paperwork, and these ones are not fully trained in those particular areas. 3 times I was rejected for small things. And when I decided to go it alone, I went through the website, the Government of Canada website. The same thing that one of them said I was not qualified for was the same route that I used, doing it myself, alone, reading the Government of Canada website. And that is how I came to Canada, all by myself. So you can do it. You can actually follow reputable channels, immigration consultants, and then probably ask them for specific questions if you do not have the money. But I know that you can do it yourself. So students, do not just for the lure of coming to Canada for schooling, do not just give your money out to anybody who is saying, I can help you get a visa. Sure, they can manipulate and get visa for you, but what happens 3 years down the line? Come to think of it, the consulting firm that was headed by, I think, one Bridget Mishra is no more. They've closed down the consultancy services and the man is nowhere to be found. Let us just consider for a moment the implication of what has happened. If we have just 700 students and the man collected $1,000 from each of them, this is just an hypothetical scenario. So for just 700,000, he has actually ruined the life of so many persons. This is not what we want for people. Well, if you are interested in pursuing your dream in Canada, it becomes ever more challenging and ever more critical that you look for somewhere that you'll be able to get information and support for you to go through this process. In one of my videos, just click on this, you will see simple step from the Government of Canada website, all you need to do to start the process yourself. Click on this one to give you the needed support to start that process for getting a student permit without actually paying anybody anything. You can do it yourself. And when you are doing it yourself, you become ever more confident. You are sure that each details you impute is from you. It is not someone, but like we said, life differs from person to person. Some might actually need a regulated consultant to support them, but do your due diligence. If you have questions, please drop it in the comment section and then I will do my best to answer that question. Share this video to your friends, your family, so that none of them fall victims for so many scams that are out there. And I will definitely look forward to seeing you in the very next video.